take a moment and look at these logos. Nike, Apple, FedEx, Amazon. They're so familiar that your brain recognizes them almost instantly. But have you ever stopped to ask why? What makes these simple shapes so unforgettable? Is it their colors, their design, or something much deeper? The truth is, the world's biggest brands don't rely on luck when creating their logos. Every curve, every line, and every tiny detail is carefully designed to work with the way our brains naturally think. These logos don't just represent companies, they influence how we feel, what we remember, and even the decisions we make without realizing it. In this video, we're going to uncover the hidden psychology behind 4 of the world's most iconic logos and reveal why they work so well. More importantly, by the end of this video, you'll have a practical framework for designing with influence, not just aesthetics. So, let's begin with one of the most recognizable symbols ever created, the Nike swoosh. Why a simple curve feels like motion. At first glance, the Nike swoosh doesn't look particularly impressive. It's just a simple curved shape. There's no athlete, no shoe, and nothing that appears to be moving. Yet somehow, the moment you see it, it feels fast, energetic, and powerful. That's not an accident. It's the result of a psychological principle known as implied motion. Our brains are incredibly good at predicting movement from still images. Think about a photograph of someone sprinting toward the finish line. The image never actually moves, but your mind automatically imagines what happens next. You can almost feel the speed. The Nike swoosh works in exactly the same way. Its shape begins with a thicker curve and gradually narrows into a sharp point, encouraging your eyes to travel smoothly from one end to the other. That simple movement tricks your brain into sensing speed and momentum, even though nothing on the screen is actually moving. But the shape alone isn't what made the swoosh iconic. Over the last several decades, Nike has paired this symbol with Olympic champions, world-class athletes, unforgettable victories, and moments of determination. Every time you watched an athlete cross a finish line, lift a trophy, or achieve something extraordinary, your brain quietly strengthened the connection between that emotion and the swoosh. Psychologists refer to this as associative learning. When two things repeatedly appear together, your brain starts linking them. Eventually, you stop seeing a curved line and start feeling confidence, ambition, and achievement. This is one of the biggest lessons in logo design. A successful logo isn't just something people recognize, it's something people feel. The best logos don't simply communicate what a company does. They communicate an emotion before a single word is spoken. And that's exactly why the Nike swoosh remains one of the most powerful logos in the world. But what if movement wasn't the secret? What if the most effective logo was one that made your brain do almost no work at all? That's exactly what makes the Apple logo so brilliant. Think about the Apple logo for a moment. It's nothing more than the silhouette of an apple with a single bite taken out of it. No bright colors, no complicated details, and no flashy effects. Yet it's one of the most recognizable symbols on the planet. So what makes something this simple so powerful? Let's do a quick experiment. Imagine I showed you 2 images side by side. One is a realistic drawing of an apple, filled with texture, shading, and tiny details. The other is Apple's simple black silhouette. Which one would your brain recognize first? For almost everyone, it's the silhouette. The reason lies in a psychological principle called the fluency heuristic. Our brains naturally prefer information that's easy to process. The less effort it takes to recognize something, the more familiar, trustworthy, and appealing it feels. Simplicity isn't just a design trend, it's a cognitive advantage. That's why Apple removed everything that wasn't essential. There are no unnecessary details competing for your attention. Within a fraction of a second, your brain knows exactly what it's looking at. That effortless recognition creates a positive impression before you've even had time to think about it. But the genius of this logo goes even deeper. Long before Apple became one of the world's most valuable companies, you already knew what an apple was. You'd seen apples in storybooks, classrooms, paintings, grocery stores, family kitchens, and nature. Instead of inventing a completely new symbol, Apple borrowed something your brain had been familiar with since childhood. Psychologists call this the mere exposure effect. The more familiar something feels, the more likely we are to trust and like it. Apple didn't need to create an emotional connection from scratch, it simply built upon one that already existed. Then there's the detail that almost everyone recognizes, the bite. At first, it seems like a small design choice, but it's surprisingly important. Without the bite, the shape could easily be mistaken for a cherry, a tomato, or another round fruit. That single missing piece instantly tells your brain, that's an apple. It's a tiny adjustment that dramatically improves recognition while making the logo unique enough to stand apart from every other fruit icon. This is what separates good design from great design. Great design isn't about adding more elements, it's about removing everything that isn't necessary. Apple proves that the simpler a logo is, the easier it becomes for our brains to remember, trust, and recognize it. But the next logo takes a completely different approach. Once you discover it, you'll never be able to look at it the same way again. Have you ever noticed the hidden psychology behind the FedEx logo? At first glance, it looks like a simple word mark. But between the letters E and X, there is a hidden arrow pointing forward. This is called negative space psychology. The hidden arrow creates a small moment of discovery, making the logo more memorable and giving the feeling that FedEx is a smart, creative, and detail-focused brand. The arrow itself represents speed, direction, progress, and movement, showing that FedEx always knows the way forward. The colors also influence our emotions. Purple creates a feeling of trust and professionalism, while orange represents energy, speed, and action. Together, these elements send a subconscious message. FedEx is reliable, fast, and always moving forward. A simple logo, but a powerful psychological strategy hidden inside. Next, have you ever wondered why the Amazon logo feels so friendly and memorable? The Amazon logo is more than just a brand name. Under the word Amazon, there is an orange arrow that connects the letters A to Z. This creates a psychological effect called symbol association. When people see the arrow, their brain connects it with the idea that Amazon offers everything from A to Z, creating a feeling of convenience and endless choices. But the arrow has another hidden meaning, it forms a smile. The human brain naturally responds positively to smiling shapes, making customers subconsciously feel happiness, comfort, and satisfaction. The direction of the arrow also creates a feeling of forward movement and progress, suggesting that Amazon is always improving and moving ahead. The orange color adds warmth and excitement. It represents friendliness, energy, and a positive shopping experience, making the brand feel more approachable. The psychological message behind the Amazon logo is: whatever you need, from A to Z, Amazon brings it to you with a simple and happy experience. A small arrow, creating a big emotional connection. So, what can we learn from these famous logos? A great logo is not just a symbol or a beautiful design. It is a psychological tool that communicates emotions, builds trust, and creates a connection with people. Every shape, color, and hidden element in a logo is carefully designed to influence how people think and feel about a brand. These small design decisions work with our subconscious mind, helping brands become more recognizable, memorable, and emotionally connected with their audience. In the world of branding, the best logos don't just represent a company, they create an experience and tell a story without using words. This is just the beginning of exploring the hidden psychology behind famous logos. In the next video, we'll explore important design principles and discover how simple design choices can create powerful visual experiences. Subscribe and stay tuned for more design psychology.